Hello, good morning, Monday morning to everyone, and welcome to Coaching TikTok. I am Life Coach Shaun, Joya, the man from Pasig City, from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Workforce Management. And this coaching conversation are for people leaders or people managers who are wanting to create an inspired and motivated workforce. And my mission is to be able to help or empower people to be mentally fit so that they can stay inspired to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. If you are someone who is a people leader and are looking for avenues, looking for options, looking for ways for you to help your people at work to be mentally fit, then you are in the right space. Thank you for joining me live today, and please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you are presently located as of this very moment. Please do tag your friends, circulate this video, and let's help more people in the digital space, helping them in the workplace as well, so that we can encourage them to continue on, finding new ways for us to be able to help individuals become better at the way that they feel, the way that they think, and the way that they act, in ways that they are productive, they are efficient, and they are joyful with the work that they're doing. So give them a shout out in there, tag in there. Let's help them in the digital space. Give a shout out, give some inspiring message. If you are watching this on a replay, please do comment hashtag replay in there. I'm streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI-Connect. If you are new to the platform, please like, follow, and subscribe to the page. All right. If this is the first time you're joining me, if this is the first time you're seeing me, if this is the first time that you're seeing this face, I am Life Coach Shaun. I said I'm a professional co-actively co-create life coach. I'm certified co-actively co-create life coach, and I'm also a certified mental health coach. I've been working in the corporate world for more than 14 years now. Before, most of my career is in the call center industry, in the BPO industry, and right now I'm a workforce management consultant for one of the biggest, consulting companies in the world. Yeah, and probably know that they're an IT and consulting company, and I'm focused on their call center operations. Helping them with their call center operations. I've been married for 19 years. To a professional certified life coach and also a certified mental health coach. You know her. She's also doing the speakers of one of the coaching TikTok at 4 p.m. That's every Monday. So if that is something that you would want to focus on in the relationship, that's Coach Joya. So she's going to be up later at 4 p.m. at the same page. And I have two kids who are now teenagers. My daughter, she's an animator. She's 19. And my son is 16, working towards finding what he really wants to do in life. And so far, we have some clarity in there already. Just a few more months, and he'll able to figure out what he wants to do. And that is the powerful thing, that life coaching has allowed us to have clarity on what they want, so that they don't go through the same experiences that we have, trying to figure out what we want, what we wanted to do, where we want to go, what are the things that we want to achieve, and so on and so forth. And these are the things that, if you have the life coaching skills, I tell you, it just changes the way that we see things, that we experience things, that will change the way that we deal with things, especially with our children. If you have, or if you're someone who has some challenges with your children, maybe you're someone who's so busy, so engaged with the work that you do, because they're high demands, long hours and so on, and you're having this thinking of, how can I help my children better improve their communication, better improve their relationship, better improve the way that you engage with them. I tell you, life coaching would just empower you to take control of your life and help your children fulfill their potential. If that is something that you want, something you want to focus on, something that you want to invest your time and attention on, and I tell you it's gonna work, come and join us here at Life Coach Philippines. Be a certified co-actively co-create life coach. Message us here at Life Coach Philippines. Maybe later you will see Coach Rizal Sanchez in there. Her number is 0917-586-1661. Book a session with her so that you can have a deeper understanding of how life coaching is so valuable for everyone, not just for us, even for our children, for the people that we lead, for our parents too. That life coaching has helped me strengthen my relationship with my mom, which is a wonderful thing, because those are some of the things that I've been having challenges with my relationship with her, and it has improved by far, so far, it's a wonderful feeling. And one of the things that I would want you to know is I am not a normal person. So I'm diagnosed. Uh, I have emotional dysregulation, and I have a tendency to have extremes in the way that I respond as far as my emotion is concerned. So either I go into anger mode or I go into flight mode. So those are the two. And I have an ID to prove it. I have a PWD, and that is something that I've recently accepted and, started working on and developing how I can do better. Working on in an environment where it's high stress, high pressure, and you get to be promoted every 2 to 3 years. I thought it's something that, is such an achievement. They would say, hey, I'm able to achieve all of these things, only to realize that when you move so fast, you grow so fast, it's not good for your mental health. And that's the reason why I'm teaching you here at coaching for workforce management, is to slow down so that you can speed up, is to enjoy the process, is to not go so fast. Because at times when you are continuously on overdrive, if you're familiar with the word overdrive in vehicles, in automatic vehicles, there's a button in there that's called OD. I'm not sure if the new cars right now have that. I don't think so. But the old automatic vehicles has an OD button in there. It's called an overdrive. And when you press that button, the RPM goes up so that you get, the engine works more, you consume more gasoline. But of course, when you put in more energy in there, it tends to, overwork the engine. And the more that you use the overdrive, the more that you need to do PMS, which is preventive maintenance services. But unfortunately, you know what happens with us, right? Same goes with the vehicles that we use. We don't do PMS. We try to extend it as much as we can until such time that the car breaks down. Same goes with human beings. As we continue to exert all of these things, and we don't stop, we don't do a pit stop, we don't, change our do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves. And I tell you, it's gonna hit you. It hit me. It hit me 3 times. I burned out. As far as I remember, I'm still journeying and trying to figuring out if I burned out more than that for the last 14 years. That took a toll in my mind. I just wanted to quit at times. At times you just wanted to leave this place. You just wanna be away, or you just wanna stay in one place and not have people be there, and just wanna be alone, or just wanna be gone in the space. I've done through that. I've been through that, and it's so stressful. It's so pressured. It's so exhausting, to the point that you would just stop everything. Because if you don't, and your mental health is gonna go, you're gonna go cuckoo. I'm calling it cuckoo because I've been in that point. And it gives you that breather to really be in a space of, hey, is the things that I'm working worthwhile? Diba? Is that something worthwhile? And the reason why 2 years ago I decided to quit, I started to just stop working in the corporate world, take a rest. 2 years, I rested for 2 years, and just breathe in all of these things, make an assessment of life. And then 2 years, focus on life coaching, focus on investing in my work, inner work, focus on investing on how I can be a better person. And eventually, it's a wonderful thing, because it allowed you to be free from all of these pressures that we ourselves put in. Yes, the reality is the pressure that you experience right now, those are things that we put into ourselves. It's not that we're bad, not that we're bad people. It's just we didn't know any better. And we're putting that pressure in there. And the more that you're able to invest your time, you're more able to invest your attention on, like what you're doing right now, watching me, watching us every single day at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. It allows you, or empowers you, to become a better version of yourself. So again, don't go overdrive. Don't use that every single moment. Well, I would tell you, don't use it at all. Just steady pace, steady pace. It's not a sprint. Yeah, it's not a sprint. It's not going to A, B faster than everyone. Different people have different journeys. So never compare yourself with other people. Do not compare that, because I tell you, you're going to be put in a ditch like me, and it's not going to be a wonderful experience. So if you want to avoid that at all costs, if you are someone who's preventive, let's have a conversation. Let's talk to each other, and let me help you towards slowing down so that you can speed up. All right. Before I begin, I would just like to appreciate and be grateful to all of the people who's watching right now. Coach Tin, of course, my better half is there. Coach Joanna, maraming salamat. Master Coach Jasmine, thank you very much for joining me. Coach Nords, Coach Glacy, Coach Candy. We're also live in YouTube. So if you want to watch on YouTube, you can do that as well. Coach Nords, maraming salamat. Leonard, thank you very much for joining. Overdrive, yes. Coach Candy and Coach Marine, thank you very much. Today I'm going to talk about Unstuck, understanding biotypes for mental health at work. You might think, what is biotypes? Coach, it's the first time that I heard it. I tell you, when I was going through this, when I studied this, it's something that I realized that, hey, I have some of the biotypes that I've been using. And it's something that I started to reflect on and have a deeper understanding of how is it that I'm thinking. And the biotypes, it's like the way that you think about certain situations, certain topics, certain feelings, certain emotions that you have. And when you're able to understand this, it's very good for your mental health because you get to unstuck yourself in that negative thought patterns. Remember a time in which you're constantly thinking about negative things, like you feel like you're not good enough, the things that you're doing is not effective, your wife or your kids or your husband or people around you doesn't appreciate all of the things that you're doing, yada yada yada, those things that are negatively impact the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that you act. Those are some of the biotypes that I will be talking about to you today. And think about it right now. The question to you is, just reflecting on this, giving yourself a moment this wonderful Monday morning. I think it's a better weather today, this Monday. What kind of information do you currently feed your brain as of this time? What kind of information? If you take a look at your news feed in Facebook, take a look at your social media platforms, the ones that you use, or even the internet search and or whatever platform of browser that you use. What is it that you research? What is it that you take a look at? What is it that you invest your attention and full focus on? And what do you consume? So at times when you browse like that, you're not really just consuming anything. Your brain is trying to figure out, okay, where would I stop? Just a roulette. You pull like that and it say, oh, it stopped there. Then what do you consume? And what do you focus your attention on? Because these are the questions that we need to understand to get unstuck when negative thought patterns arises. As I've said, negative thought patterns are the things that you think about when things are not going well. At times, even at times when things are going well, you still think negatively. And these are something that we need to get that unstuck in there because we put in a super glue in there. And even though at times you've already opened it, you put in another glue because you don't want to get step outside of that comfort zone of discomfort. Coach Candy talk about it when comfortable is no longer comfortable. Was that it, Coach Candy? Put that in the chat box in there. So these are the things that we need to start thinking about it and analyzing how currently we think about certain things. And do we seek, if we think about all of the things that we're doing at work, do we seek positive stresses that helps us build the resilience that we need to learn strategies for us to be better at managing the negative stress? Or do we allow all of these negative thoughts to take over and get the best of us during times of crisis? So, how are you managing these thoughts right now? Are you managing it in ways that allows you to be successful in all the things that you do, in your relationship, and the work that you do, and other areas of your life? Or is it consuming you to the brink of, you know, being in a space where you're just all alone, not knowing what to do, and eventually thinking at is that it? Is this it? Or is there more? The more that we understand the answers to these questions of how our brain thinks in general, the better it is that we are equipped to be in a state of prevention and live a meaningful and fulfilling life. Now, the reality is every one of us worries. No one is exempted. Even me, I worry. Some people, however, excessively worry. Excessive warrior, the worry warriors. They find it hard to focus on things as they dwell upon negative experiences over and over and over and over, and it's just an never-ending loop. And different people have different ways of responding to negative stress. And what's important is for us to continuously learn how our brain functions and act in a rather positive way than continuously to react to it. Because there's a difference when you're reacting and acting. You know, reacting to stressor causes you to lose control of all of the things around you, even to lose control of you, because you're not able to self-manage yourself. But being intentional on responding, which I call acting on it, is empowering you. You're taking control back of the remote control of your life, and you're taking control back of the driver's seat of life. Remember that stress is a huge part of life. It shapes how our brain changes and how it adapts, whether it is good, whether it's bad change, a good change, it changes it. That is a part of the stressor, and we need to welcome it. That is part of our life. And when we are stressed, sometimes we cannot control our situation, cannot control the people around you, cannot control the environment, right? Stress will happen. That is when we continuously feel these negative things and the emotions takes a hold of us, it cripples us in the process. And most people, when they experience these kinds of stressors, these feelings, these emotions, are having challenges naming what they're struggling with. Have you ever had a moment in which you ask yourself or you ask someone, how are they, what their problems that they have, and you say, they can't, I don't know, di ko alam. Those are the response. And you kind of think about, okay, what's happening with that person's thinking? What's the thought process in which the person is not able to really fully understand what's happening in their mind. And what I will help you today is at least start labeling those feelings or those thinking that you have, so that you are more in control. And again, if you need professional help, what I encourage you, like what I did, is seek a medical professional, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. Have yourself checked. And if you're not ready for that yet, get a professional life coach or a professional mental health coach that are certified in a reputable institution, and invest on that. I've invested on a psychiatrist, I invested on a life coach, a mental health coach, which has helped me have an acceptance of where I'm at right now and how I can be better as responding in situation. And the more that we're able to label those feelings, these emotions that we have, at least what's true for us today, it's not going to be true for you moving forward in the future. It's just true for you today, so that you can have your coach, your mental health coach, process your thoughts and ideas and these emotions and feelings, and you can navigate through life in more control than what you were before, so that it is in your unfair advantage. All right. So today I'm going to talk to you about how many is this? I'm going to talk about 8 biotypes to you right now. 8 biotypes that you can start thinking about and see where you're at right now and how you're currently and presently thinking. Think about these biotypes as the brain, how the brain processes things and how it reacts to certain stressor and how you behave. And so when you're stuck in this pattern of thinking, make an assessment of how you're currently processing a feeling or emotion. All right. I hope you're ready. I'm going to talk to you about 8. The first one is rumination. Yeah, rumination involves our brain's default circuit. This is which we have a tendency to repeatedly worry. So if you know someone who's a worry warrior and have a negative thought from their inner voice, I call this the self one. The self one is the self-critical voice that you have in your brain and in your mind, and the self two is the real you. That's the one that's courageous, wants to do different things, and so on and so forth. But the self one is the one that's protecting you. You would say, wag mong awayin si self one. Self one is what we've created to protect ourselves in the way that we think. And every time it talks about negatively constantly, this is where rumination comes in. And it creates an internal tension in you. It disrupts you in ways that you are connecting with people and how you're functioning at home and at work. So if you know someone who's constantly a worry warrior, that is rumination. So, always think about negative thoughts, and the self-critical one is always talking about to them that, hey, you're not good at that. Remember the last time that you did this, and so on and so forth. That is rumination. constantly thinking of negative thoughts, right? Number two is anxious avoidance. Yeah, anxious avoidance. This involves the salience circuit, which you experience physically. Yeah, physical. You feel anxiety. Maybe you have this tightness feeling in your neck, or maybe in your gut. You have a sweaty palm. You palpitate at times, or maybe you keep moving your legs like me when I'm in anxiety mode. I tend to move my legs at times, and my wife, when I'm near her, she would slap me because I'm not mindfully knowing that I'm already going into anxiety mode, which is something that I have yet to work on. And once this happened, is a person would tend to avoid such situations at all costs, and they would feel the need to be removed through a stressful stimulant that causes you to focus on attention elsewhere. I've experienced this sometimes when it's getting so noisy in the conversation that I feel I'm not able to connect, or sometimes it gets too emotional. What I do is I would just avoid that because it causes anxiety already. I can't be no, I can't move a lot. So I just step out slowly, and slowly I move to somewhere place where I can just breathe, breathe in, breathe out all of these negative things. However, what happens if you are experiencing this anxious avoidance, it can affect the way that you're satisfied with your life. So, think about a moment on how you're doing that right now. It's best for you when you have kind of an idea of where you're at right now, is to find, again, reach out to a coach. Message Life Coach Philippines. We have a handful of certified life coaches here who can help you, can support you. If you're able to connect with them, message them, have a conversation with them, so at least you can process your thoughts, ideas, and you can finally get that control back. Because we every one of us wants control, and we want to be able to continue on living our life that we have, right? Number three is negative bias. Negative bias involves our brain's negative effect circuit. And what this happens if you experience a cycle of negativity and you expect the worst. Yeah, negative patterns, negative thoughts, but you expect the worst of everything, where even things are not happening yet, and you feel stuck in this cycle. And sometimes we only tune to ourselves towards the negative inputs of either the person, the negative inputs of the environment, the negative inputs of the people around you, the negative inputs of your family, which you lose sight of the positive. So those are the negative bias. Maybe you've experienced this where you met a person that you haven't met for the longest time, but before that, this person, someone will tell you that this person is A, B, C, D, and E, and you have this negative bias already about the person, rather than taking a look at the positive things. This is common for us. Me, before I had negative bias too, and I'm working on that. When I meet someone, I need to slow down and appreciate that person, because that person is not their behavior. A person is not their behavior. A person is someone who's within, calling out, seeking for help. And if you're able to connect with that person from the inside and let that out, I tell you, this world will change, right? Number four is threat response. This involves the brain's negative effect or negative emotions or poor self-concept and circuit, which when activated, it treats either or perceives a real threat in the environment. So if you know someone who has this threat response, they feel that something is a threat, even though it's not a threat, this is what automatically gets activated, because this is a reaction of the brain that goes into alarm mode. And this is difficult to switch off, because a person would experience shakiness, they would be rattled because of the threat response. So maybe you experience a moment in which you suddenly shake for no apparent reason whatsoever, and you started to be, you got startled. This is what a threat response is. And this is the context of extreme situation or traumatic experiences. That is what threat response is all about, right? Number five is emotional numbness. This involves the brain's positive effect circuit, also known as a reward circuit. What happens here, if you have emotional numbness, it happens in which you are unable to take pleasure in activities that usually brings you joy, usually gives you the sense of purpose, usually puts you in a space which you are just there. Sometimes you are at flow, but that's no longer, you're disconnected in there. And what happens is you put more effort and respond to positive interaction. So these are a person which has emotional numbness. I remember a moment in which I was emotionally numb for a short amount of time because of an experience. And that one, I think it took me 48 hours for me to figure out what happened. And I was just numb. My emotions were just numb. I wasn't feeling any. I wasn't sad. I wasn't happy. I was just like that. And then that is something that I realized, hey, something happened with me. And good thing, again, life coaching was really helped me out and helped me out and have a deeper understanding of how we're responding. All right. Number six is context and sensitivity. Context and sensitivity. This involves regulation of the brain's positive effect. The circuit has to do with how we feel burned out. So if you are in a context and sensitivity, that means when you experience a bit what when you've experienced burnout, and I told you I've experienced burnout 3 times in my career, which is something that I tell you, if you haven't experienced burnout yet, don't push yourself to the limit. Don't do the OD, overdrive mode. Don't do that. If you are in a space right now and you need support, let me know. Let me support you in there so that you can transition from getting out of that burnout state. Because that burnout state, I'll tell you, is gonna be a killer. It's gonna be a killer of motivation, a killer of inspiration, and a killer of hope. So that is something that we can work on together. Just let me know. Let's have a conversation. And context and sensitivity is doing activities that can move you towards extreme effort. It means that you're burned out, you lost motivation in all of the areas of your life. You don't want to move, you just want to stay in there. And what happens is you need to force yourself. You need to extremely put effort in all the function and activities that you do at work or even in your relationship and other people out there. Thank you, Audrey, thank you very much for joining. Coach Lady Jen, maraming salamat. Coach Rizal is here as well. Thank you for joining me this wonderful Monday morning. Number 7 is inattention. Yeah, inattention involves the brain's attention circuit. This is where you have difficulty in sustaining attention or concentrating towards specific tasks or activities. This is something reflecting on it because I'm OC. Sometimes I get to move things and so on and so forth. I get to fix all of these different things in my areas. At times when there is someone discussing and talking, I tend to move different things. But it's kind of a distraction. But here it's extreme because you feel worn out and need to force yourself to focus on a task. So if you know someone who are in that space that cannot sustain their attention, but they're forcing themselves to stay in that attention, that is inattention already and needs to have an understanding of how they're thinking about it. And as I've said, in life coaching and in mental health coaching, that is where we process the thoughts of the individuals so that they have a deeper understanding of how they think. That is what I'm teaching with you, is self-management, that you need to manage yourself first before you can manage other people. It starts with you. The more that you understand yourself, the better you are at responding to other people. All right? Inattention means that the basic activities you do at your work and at your home is hard already to complete. So that is inattention. It's already affecting your life. How you see your life, how you do your life, how you live your life. That is inattention. And last but not the least, Coach Candy talked about this. This is cognitive fog, which is a brain fog. This involves the brain cognitive control circuit. This is called, as I've said, a brain fog, which you have difficulties executing thinking. A person has difficulties executing their thinking, like making decisions, difficulty in managing unwanted thoughts and reactions. This is what brain fog or cognitive fog means. And we have all this brain fog. It makes, when you have this, it makes planning really hard, even executing really hard. So that is what brain fog is all about. All right. So those are the 8 biotypes that I've shared to you that, we need to start really reflecting on, because this one are negative thoughts that we have experienced. And if we're not careful, if we're not intentional, if we're not determined to work on this, it's going to affect our lives as we progress in life. So I'll recap. The first biotype is rumination. The second is anxious avoidance. The third is negative bias. The fourth is threat response. Fifth is emotional dumbness. Sixth is context insensitivity. Seventh, it is inattention. And eight is cognitive fog. And if you have missed, the beginning of this talk, just replay this in YouTube channel Coach AI Connect to watch the high definition. Take some notes in there. Start reflecting on practicing this for the next 30 days, reflecting on how you're thinking, how you're responding. And if you need support, let us know here at Life Coach Philippines. We would be happy to help you. All right. Having a deeper understanding of the way we think helps us to move the mental health conversation from awareness to acknowledgement to action. Those are the three A's that I would also like to leave behind you. We need to come into a space of awareness, which what I'm teaching you right now is for you to start becoming aware of how your negative thought patterns is, they're thinking about it, and acknowledge which one is true for you. Again, when I say which one is true, it's true for you today. It's not going to be true for you tomorrow, next month, next year, next 5 months, and so on. Because if you're working on that intentionally, and you're investing on your learning, it's just gonna be a better experience. I'm not saying that it will go away, but it's more that that, hey, when you're starting to thinking about it, hey, this is like this, and this is the way that I will respond to it. And likewise, when you're able to do that, it can empower you to have meaningful conversations with the people that can help you create a meaningful actions on your day-to-day life. So remember, you have the power to change your brain. You have the power to change your own brain. It starts with you taking ownership of the way you feel, of the way you think, and the way that you act. And you might say, Coach, I've been doing a lot of different things already. Get a life coach. Have a conversation with a life coach today. Coach Rizal, message Coach Rizal in there. You see Rizal Sanchez, her number is 0917-586-1661. Book a discovery call or strategy call with her. It's free, it's complimentary for 1 hour. Have a conversation and let us know let her know how you can be helped. But you are someone who's ready to move forward. If you want to work with me, partner with me, I'm going to give you this program. It's a program that you can better manage your life as you go forward. It's about digging deep and understanding what really is important to you. So I'm inviting you to explore the Silver Lining Coaching Program. What this program will do is will allow you to finally identify the goal that keeps you inspired and motivated. Plan it out so that you know what to do and be intentional about the actions and identify those obstacles that might be sabotaging your success. That obstacles may be, these are the things that I've shared to you, the 8 biotypes, because these are really sabotaging the way that you want to live your success. And it also helps you create action plans on how you can handle things in an efficient and effective way. Plus, you'll also get a list of all of the things that you would want to bring in your life that gives you joy, that sparks hope, that gives you all of the positive things, positive emotions, positive feelings, positive thoughts for you to become successful than before. And if you want to know more about that program, you may contact me at 0917-586-569-4200 and book strategy session. Apologies for the noise. Remember that action makes progress. Action makes progress. We're not teaching you to be perfect here. It's all about progress. If you want to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life, the first step is to call, and we will help you in the next step. All right? Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed your moment with me. If you've learned something, please do share that in your digital space. Share it with your friend that, hey, I've learned something in this. And I tell you that your friend will appreciate that. And as I end this conversation, let me invite you to what we are to be part of what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coach. If you are not yet a smart holder of the Be Learning e-card and you're still missing on the perks that I am enjoying today, today is the best time for you to invest on this and take action. Connect with Coach Rizal to 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society. It's a tent maker of the Be Learning homes for mental fitness. And what you will do in here, what you will get is you enjoy 5% food and beverage discount at Decaf Coffee Republic. You also get the full access mental model masterclass by Master Coach A happening every fourth Saturday of every month, plus the benefit of a 19-minute free coaching session with a senior coach. That coaching session would allow you to process how you're thinking about the mental model that the mental model class. And save the date. This month of October, it's going to be on October 30th at 7 p.m. for our next mental model masterclass with Master Coach A. She will teach about thought leadership mental model mastery. Learn thought leadership mental model and discover how to become the 21st century knowledge entrepreneur. You know, at this stage, at this time, it's all about content in the internet, content in social media. Now the question is, are the contents that being put in there is something that will really allow individuals to make the change? So if you are someone who's looking for that, if you want to make a significant and radical change in this world, join us in the 21st century as a 21st century knowledge entrepreneur. Join us in a mental model masterclass. For more information, registration assistant, please connect with Coach Rizal, 0917-586-1661. Also, if you want to be a certified professional life coach like me for individuals, you want to embark on a journey of becoming a certified life coach, Master Coach A is now offering Go Actively Co-Create Life Coach Certification Program. This is a CPD accredited course with 40 hours credit. Ayan, unit credit. CPD is all about learning new things or refreshing your knowledge and doing new things, and what will make the CACC Life Coach Certification Program the perfect track for continuing professional development. So if you need CPD, this is a place for you. Life coaching is the 21st century learning experience that is empowering professionals to enhance their skills in multiple domains and thereby increasing their relevance and increasing the, in an increasingly complex workforce. The workforce right now is so complex and we need to simplify it. And I tell you, the CACC Life Coach Certification will help you simplify that. The course includes a 21-day web-based learning, includes a 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A, and a 3-day live business bootcamp with Coach Tin. She's the one leading this. And the program package offers many other bonuses. So connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 to discover opportunities that are waiting for you in this profession. All right? Maraming salamat. Do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Marife for coaching for fitness and nutrition, and Coach Tin for coaching for relationship at 4 p.m. Once again, marami pong salamat. Thank you for joining me this wonderful Monday for live. This is Live Coach Shaun Joya from Live Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this, and this is us in the Philippines. And you want to join us? Come and join us here at Live Coach Philippines. Labam boom, labam boom, labam boom. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.